The sister needs to go to a mental asylum ASAP. What's good, gang? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we finna be reading some spooky, creepy confessions, part 2. Let's get it in. And before I get started, I just want y'all to remember, if you hear something in the background that's not me, don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to me. Okay, now we can start. Okay, so this first one reads, when I was little, my mom told me I used to talk to this ghost. She said at times I would call her Bloody Mary. The only times I would talk to her was through a mirror. Ooh, we all know about Bloody Mary in the mirror, but we're just not gonna talk about it. Next confession. When I was about 7, I used to see this little girl. I'm getting chills. Oh my gosh. When I was about 7, I used to see this little girl in my house, and I used to talk to her when my parents noticed they had our house blessed and I stopped seeing her. We just moved houses, and now every time in my room, I hear a voice saying, "Why did you leave me?" Oh, literal chills. What in the world? That's too much, okay? That is too much. You should have left the demons at the other house. Your parents moved for a reason, okay? Next confession. So a few nights ago, I went to school in the middle of the night to break into my class to get some stuff for an assignment due the next day. Don't judge. So I got my stuff and I was about to leave when I heard screams for help inside a locker. I felt sketched out about it, but decided to go to the janitor's closet and find some bolt cutters. I went back and still heard the screaming. I told them I was back and it was all okay and cut the lock. Nothing was there. The weird thing though was I asked my friends about it and they said they thought they heard the screaming a few times too, but nothing recent. I guess I freed his soul or something. Okay, wow. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. So now you just got like a screaming soul roaming around the school or whatever. I don't know how that stuff works. Next confession. There's this doll I used to keep on my dining table. My mama asked me to go downstairs and get her phone charger. I went down. The doll was looking straight forward. I went upstairs without her charger, so I went back down. The head was turned towards me. Okay, one thing about it, dolls, I don't do dolls. Never been a big fan of dolls. Like, do not ask me. I don't want no doll. I don't want nothing sitting in my room. They got eyes that can look at me and none of that. Never been a fan. Next confession. One time when I was home all alone, I was watching TV and I started to get hungry, so I thought I may as well go make some food. So I got up and went to the kitchen, and one thing that I saw that still haunts me today was an empty fridge and cupboard. By empty, I mean no food I like. That was corny. Yeah, that is pretty scary. Next confession. A while back ago, when I worked at a high school, this was before I found out it was haunted, so I usually check and clear the auditorium every once in a while to make sure no one forgot anything important. While I was clearing the seats, I heard footsteps on the stage and saw a girl heading towards one of the rooms backstage. I yelled at her, telling her she couldn't be in the auditorium, and asked what she was doing. But of course she ignored me, so I had to chase after her. I saw her go into the room and shut the door. I ran up to open the door to find no one in the room. The room isn't that big at all. It has no windows or doors to leave out of, which almost made me want to throw up. I've never went back in there ever since this incident. I don't blame you. I wouldn't go back in there either. Next confession. One time when I was little, like 9 or so, I was in my room sleeping and saw a black figure out of the corner of my eye near my room. Then about 2 years later, I was sleeping also and looked by my window and saw a face. I started screaming and my mom and dad came in. The thing was gone. Okay, I don't know what to say about that one. That is kind of creepy. Next confession. Lately, I've had the same dream for a couple of weeks every night. My gymnastics coach is trying to kill me, and then I get possessed by a demon. And also for the past couple weeks, I've seen figures out of the corner of my eye, hear footsteps in the middle of the night, and sometimes hear stuff rattling under my bed. But when I look under there, there's nothing there. The scary thing is, the attic leads up from my room and I've never opened it. I just opened it and that's when the stuff started going on. Something most definitely came out of that attic and probably is lingering around your room. That's too much. Next confession. My dad got a musical ornament off a friend a few months ago. The musical turner doesn't work when you want it to. Instead, it has a will of its own. It turns at random times when you don't expect it to. Even during the night, it's a Victorian looking one. A woman sitting at a table drinking tea is so creepy. I didn't understand that one, so next confession. A couple years ago, I had a Furby, and once it turned evil, and I thought nothing of it, I eventually couldn't make it good again, so I took the batteries out. I put it on my bedside table and went to go sleep. The next day, it was on my windowsill, and it was turned on and was laughing, still with no batteries. What? Take the Furby outside, take a hammer, and smash it to pieces. That's what you need to do. Next confession. This one night I was walking in the woods. I had a late night shift. My house is past the woods, and I was following the trail. Then I heard a laugh in the woods and the sound of a clown nose. I didn't know where he was, but he said, "Where are you going? Don't you want us to play?" No. I started speeding up my pace and responded with, "No, I have to head home." A second later, he stepped out of the woods and said, "Fine. I guess I have to make you play," while holding a chainsaw. He started running at me. I ran out of there so fast. I see him around sometimes swinging a knife around. And sometimes he looks at me through my window, waiting for me. 911? Next confession. I somewhat think my house is haunted. For the past few months, I've had strange occurrences. I thought it was my grandpa because I asked him questions and he would tap 1 for no and 2 for yes. Anyway, this eventually started to creep me out, so I burned sage around my house and asked them to leave. However, they didn't leave. They just got aggravated. Over the past 2 weeks, they've flown my keys across the room, turned on my TV, flushed my toilet 2 times, and had a shower. However, yesterday, they attacked me. People keep asking me where the huge scratch on my face came from. My only explanation is a ghost. Most of them laugh, but some believe me. Leave? Next confession. When me and my sister were younger, I remember walking into the room and she would be talking to the mirror with her doll. The sister needs to go to a mental asylum ASAP. All right, y'all, that's it for today's video. Make sure y'all also like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, always remember, a good vibe makes a good life. Bye, y'all.